You know, the damage that you have on an old machine isn't just done by human hands by bumping into it or physically scratching the machine. Some of it's actually done by nature. UV damage not only discolors a machine, but it can actually damage the plastic as well. But there is a way to fix it without... Well, it's been more than 48 hours since I started this whole ordeal. And unfortunately, I think this panel is too dark. First, let me show you the panel itself after I did the retro bright. It's still severely brown. It's not as brown as it was, so I definitely got rid of the surface UV damage, but I think the damage has gone further. So I woke up early just to check on it, and I saw that the retro bright had just not worked. And what I've then did was try to go ahead and polish it out. And I began the process starting with my oscillator tool and a 400 grit piece of sandpaper with wet sanding. And I've sanded both sides, and it's just, there is nothing saving this panel. The UV damage is just so severe that it's gone through beyond just the surfaces. I'm kind of disappointed because I want to show you how good this retro bright process is, because there have been tons of people that have had success with retro brighting. And unfortunately, I'm just one of those examples of where retro brighting doesn't really work. And I'm sure I'm going to get another machine in with yellowed plastic at some point. It's just inevitable because, again, that's the nature of buying used machines. You get them with scratches and you get them with other types of damage. But you know, that's not the only thing I had in mind for this video. I'm actually going to go ahead and continue on and show you guys how to repair scratch plastic. Again, the process is simple, and it's even easier when you have something like this oscillating tool to really get into it and make a big difference. You start with a very low grit. Anything under 1,000 should do, but I would say around 400 to 620 would be my starting points on those. Then you would step up to 1,000 grit, get that polished out. Step up again to the 2,500 or 2,000 grit, and then finally finish with a 3,000 grit. Now that'll get you to that very final lightly hazed state. And then the plastic polishes I used were Meguiar's Plastics, and then I went through and did the mirror glaze. I had thought about doing ultimate polish after mirror glaze, but I'm actually quite happy with how mirror glaze finished this plastic panel out, and that would be my recommendation if you don't want to go through anything like UV cure resin that comes with these headlight polishing kit. Again, I am very happy with this process, and I would definitely recommend anybody who is doing this to grab a headlight restoration kit. But honestly, the biggest thing is just getting those sandpapers and doing wet sanding. Start with 400, go up to 1,000, go up to 2,500 after that, and then finally finish off with 3,000 before going into your chemical compounds. And what's great about the chemical compounds on top of that is when you wash them off, they're gone. There's no more risk as far as having to deal with any kind of food grade issues or anything like that. Don't necessarily have to go through the full polishing process that I went through. As you can see, it makes a big difference. And to see what those micro polishing compounds do for this plastic is really, really good. Like, I am very happy with the result that I got from this entire process I just did. So as you can see, the process of fixing the plastic on your machine is not very difficult. For something clear like this, obviously there's a lot more steps you have to do, but even if you're just going to fix a opaque part like a ABS plastic, you don't necessarily have to go through all of those steps. Once you get to the first polish, you're pretty much done to that point. That means there is a great way for you to fix your own plastics at home. You don't have to buy new plastic every time. You don't have to make new plastic every time if you have to buy a giant sheet of Lexan. Once you put this up on display and have stuff behind it, you're not going to see any of the micro scratches that are possibly still there. Even going to just that first stage of polishing is enough to fix this glass. So I would encourage you to do that as well. Again, don't necessarily think that your plastic is ruined. You can fix it. So the next process I'm going to do for the machine that this is tied to is vinyl wrapping. And that's because I want to show you a way of making a custom machine using these simple techniques on wrapping a machine. I'm going to make it look like a spaceship, like an old shuttle. So it'll have a white main body, some of this carbon black to look like the old heat shield. And just to give it a little bit of a sci-fi look on the glass that I've just repaired, I'm going to put this holographic vinyl on just to give it a little bit of that spacey, futury flair. I've just got more polishing to do and cleaning. Those machines are kind of dirty. But that's it for now. Again, I've been Justin Banner with Bincraft, and I hope to see you in the next one because I think it's going to be really exciting. And again, if you want to support this channel, I have an Etsy store linked below. I sell custom decals, and again, one of those decals is going to be used on this project as well. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again in the next one. And thank you again for watching Bincraft. Your support means a lot to me.